The English flag is being painted everywhere, and the other day it was painted on the roundabout in Wales, and the Welsh people painted over it and put the Welsh flag, which features a dragon, and they said F the English. How do you feel when you see all these England flags everywhere? Wales is part of the UK, but some Welsh people want to be independent. They don't want to see that. I mean, they're not English. They don't want to see the England flag on their streets.
I mean, look, I think what's concerning me is the English flag being worn and then racist groups attacking the refugees, the asylum seekers. I think that's the concern. Seeing the flag is not really a concern for me, but seeing the attitudes from the racist groups that come and wear it and present themselves with it to make it associate with racism, I think that's where we go wrong. And I'm sure if these people are well read, they will know the history of the red flag and the person that invented it and where he came from, because I believe, I can't remember his name. Let's pause for a minute.
So the flag is called the Cross of St. George.
St. George. And St. George was born in Palestine?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if St. George was here today, he would have been probably classed as asylum. Refugee.
Well,
I don't know. I mean,
there's lots of different myths and legends about who St. George was, but I think he was either from Palestine or his mother was from Palestine. They say he was there was no Turkey 1,800 years ago, or however long he lived. He may have lived in the region that became Turkey.
Okay.
But the Turks had not arrived in that region. That was Anatolia. It was part of the Roman Empire. He was a soldier in the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire had many different ethnic groups, but he would have been a Christian, follower of Jesus, and he would have been someone who was martyred for his beliefs. Killing the dragon, that might be a symbolic story. In the Bible, in Christian mythology, the snake was representing the evil in the garden. So lizards, dragons, reptilian beings have always been representative of some kind of evil. So he would have been a believer that stood up to evil. He's the patron saint of England and of Georgia, the country that's named after him, and of Palestine, and of many other regions, I think possibly Spain. That St. George cross was, I think, the cross used in Genoa, and the English adopted it. So St. George means a lot to many communities. In Palestine, where the Palestinian Christians have the Red Cross also, and images of St. George, but even among the Muslims of Palestine, St. George is referred to as Khadr.
Khadr.
Well, I believe they're relating him to Khidr.
Oh,
the name is Khadr, but I believe it relates to Khidr, the green one. This how can we describe Khidr? A kind of mystical figure. Is he a prophet or not? We don't know. He appears throughout the Quran at certain times, and Sheikh Imran Hussein talks a lot about Khidr and the having the power of insight, having wisdom, and of course his name does come from the colour green.
100%. So from green to red, Julian, I'd like to discuss with you the word fitna.
Mm-hmm.
What do you understand from the word
trial.
fitna?
A fitna is a trial. Literally, it means trial, right? But it tends to be used when there's like conflict between two people. There's like a disagreement, or something is getting in the way of your faith.
Someone.
It's a fitna for you, or a fitna between people.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take the fitna between people. Okay.
Okay.
So, 3 people. 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Those 2 people are friends.
Mhm.
They have an argument. One of them go to the third person and say, this person said this and this and this about you, and this person, wants to kill you, this person wants to do this person wants to take your lands, this person came and took your job, and this person, this person that is doing that is causing a fitna, is causing a hate. And then the other person that hears it all comes and be like, oh, I'm gonna get that person that been saying this about me, took my job, took my chances, took this, took that. The people that causing fitna here, I think, from my own, this is my views on it personally, is the news, the political people, the politicians that are obviously, using the news channels to cause this. Because as you are driving in the car, you open your radio and you hear, oh, the asylum refugees are in many hotels, and they're taking this and this and from your economy and from your tax money, and like there is so much heat debates there causing hate. And then you have politicians that come out and say, yeah, we have to sort this problem out, and the refugees and the boat, and stop them coming here, stop them bringing their family. Where is the main problem, really? Like, England is still a cause of many wars happening in many countries. They have not left anyone alone. India, Somalia, Yemen, Palestine. They get involved in everything. Do you think if they keep their own, their own business and stay away and not go and cause conflicts in other countries and be the cause of it, do they have more right to say that? To say don't come to our country? Or be part of a war somewhere and then come here and say, we don't want to accept any Palestinian, for example. I'm talking about Palestine because obviously everyone is watching a genocide on their TV, on their phones happening. And the British government can stop it and they can do something. Yet there is still some arm dealing happening. They are still helping, and they're still, sending spy jets and drones technology to support Israel. So, what do you say to that? What's your opinion?
Well, the refugee issue, or the asylum seeker issue, or the economic migrant issue, it's used to whip up support for people like Nigel Farage. I saw a video where an interviewer was going around to Reform supporters and saying, everyone thinks that Reform voters only care about the immigration issue, but they care about lots of other things, don't you? And they said, yeah, we do. And then they put them on the spot and said, what are the other policies from Nigel Farage that you like? And they couldn't think of any. They're like, I don't know. So really, Nigel Farage is using that issue to garner support for himself. I don't know who benefits from having hotels that are full only of refugees or asylum seekers while their documents or their appeal is being processed. But the numbers are not as huge as people imagine. It's something like 35,000 in the whole country. It's not a huge amount.
And it's not great hotels, by the way, if you're wondering. Like, they're not staying in 5-star hotels. I've seen some refugees coming up from these hotels. They're in a very rough areas, like and some of them have lived a life with dignity, but it happens that there's a war in their country. There's something that have made these people flee their homes. No one would want to walk out from their homes. And
the argument the other side will make is when they get to France, they're in a safe country. So why would they come here from France?
well, I don't know, because obviously maybe France have a different setup for refugees and what they're allowed to do or not. Everyone wants to live in dignity after all, and they want to work. These people want to have the right to work.
Which they don't have,
Yeah,
and then they end
exactly.
up working illegally.
Exactly.
Would not be better to let them work and pay tax?
Of course, and it will be benefit for the country first, because they will make money and they will be able to stop this fraud and working illegally, and also human rights, because these people also work for £4 an hour, £3 an hour. Some live in a very devastating states, and yet you find people saying, "Oh no, but they've got money, they've got this, they've got that." Some live on £9 a week. Like, how can you survive on £9? This was probably our breakfast, probably £20. It's tough, Life in the UK, being poor and being an immigrant who has limited choices of work, it's very tough. So I think we need to focus on other topics. We need to focus on how can we make this country better, and look at the benefits from also the immigrants that come and become part of the society. Like, you go in a hospital, you will see, the majority are, I don't want to use the word colored, but there are a lot of mixed race professions, backgrounds and professions, and we need each other. Everyone is good at something, So I think if we focus on that, on how can we benefit from one another, they will have a skill that I can't do. I can't do. We will build a better community than just fighting one another.
Excellent. Was there any other topics you wanted to mention?
This is one topic done for now.
All right. That was St. George and the colour green and the colour red.